The ROG Ally isn't just another gaming handheld. While it's marketed this way for portable gaming, it might actually double as a laptop or even a desktop replacement. Here's what that looks like. To understand why it works as a desktop setup, you need to look at what's inside, because under the shell, this thing is basically a gaming laptop. Inside, we have a powerful CPU ready to handle anything you could throw at it. It's so strong for a mobile processor that it can even keep up with desktop chips that pull a lot more power, like the Ryzen 5700X or even 7600X. It also has 16GB of LPDDR5 RAM, where you can assign up to 8GB for VRAM. And then from the factory, we do get a 512GB NVMe SSD, but I suggest upgrading this to a 2TB drive as it's pretty simple and pretty effective upgrade. But the real reason this works beyond just handheld gaming is the I/O. Here on top of the device, we have a USB-C with video out, a micro SD card slot, plus Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2 for peripherals. Essentially, we have all the ports you'd expect to find in a laptop. So yeah, it's marketed as a handheld, but the hardware makes it more like a laptop in controller form. A pretty good laptop at that. And that's where the idea of using it as a desktop really starts to make sense. But I'm sure you probably already own a capable device already, so why even bother with the ROG Ally as a desktop? So sure, when compared to the Ally, my laptop here has an extra USB-C port, a bigger screen, and a keyboard and trackpad attached. It lets me quickly use my computer when I'm away from home, without bringing or pulling out any extra accessories needed. There's also the obvious pro that you look pretty normal using this at a coffee shop, but you might get the odd look when writing your essay on an Ally. But still, the lack of ports can be fixed with a simple USB-C hub like this, which you could probably grab for about $20. And if you're feeling bougie or just simply want a more permanent solution, you could try something like this HDMI 2.1 dock. Just beware, I've been having some issues using it on my LG monitor, but it seems to work great with other displays. So for use as a desktop, the Ally probably beats your old laptop in performance, but for ease of use, the laptop wins with its all-in-one solution. A phone brings the fight to the same level for a real desktop experience, since you'll also need the same accessories. The benefit here is that you probably already carry your phone with you everywhere you go. And if you have a phone from the last couple years, even like 6 or 7 years ago, it's surprisingly strong and full of pretty modern features. Here's my Galaxy S20 from 2020, for example, and I'm able to use it just like a desktop to do my research and script writing, and even play PC games like Tomb Raider or the PC version of Minecraft at over 100 FPS. I think this kind of stuff is super cool, and if you do too, you should check out my video looking at the capabilities for phone gaming here. I think you'd be pretty surprised. Although on the phone you're held back with thermal limits, this will reduce your performance in more demanding games and tasks, since phones aren't the best at managing their heats. The battery life also isn't the best, but when compared to an ROG Ally, it's not so bad. Also, you'll have to get used to the Android or iOS ecosystem. Sure, you can make it pretty similar to Windows when using DeX, but it's still an entirely different operating system. The Ally wins here in performance and ease of use in my opinion, but I'd like to highlight the portability aspect again, as you already bring your phone with you everywhere you go, so this could be a good solution for some folks. So after looking at the other options, the Ally seems to function as a pretty decent desktop, but how does it actually feel to use day to day? Well, when I have it docked, it's honestly easy to forget it's even a handheld. Windows runs just as snappy as my desktop, with apps opening fast and good file transfer speeds. But performance-wise, it holds up well with most everything, but you'll obviously notice a difference compared to your gaming rig. And you do notice some things like the fans getting a bit loud in turbo mode. Still though, when it's working smoothly, it's hard not to appreciate how this tiny handheld can drive a full desktop setup. So here's how I see it. If you want an all-in-one workstation that's ready to go anywhere you go, a laptop still makes the most sense. But if you want pure portability taking up minimal space, your phone wins that fight. And if you want one device that can game and be capable of getting real work done without spending $2,000 on a gaming laptop, the ROG Ally lands right in the middle. So yeah, the Ally is definitely more than just a gaming handheld. It's not going to replace a high-end desktop or even your laptop completely, but it can absolutely fill in when needed. For me, it's the perfect balance of in-between for a device, something I can throw in a bag for portable gaming, dock up to a friend's TV for decent gaming performance, and still use as a desktop setup. If you want to see more about the ROG Ally, check out this video where I did a full review to see how it's doing 2 years after release.